welcome everybody and good morning. Thank you for being here with us. For those of you that don't know, I'm Tony Lakota. I'm the Training Development and Instruction Manager for Forge Institute. And I would like to thank everybody that is, number one, the graduates, but also any individuals that are listening in and supporting us and anybody that's a guest along the way with us. Thank you so much for showing up and supporting and loving on our graduates this morning. I'd also like to recognize our workforce partners for taking the time and energy, not today specifically, but throughout this entire process leading up to and during the execution of the training program and the future workforce of information technology and cybersecurity throughout the state. We could not do what we do at Forge Institute without your support. And today marks the culmination of 10 weeks of a boot camp style approach to training. It's been I think Jimmy said the other day, a fire hose of information. That's an understatement, multiple fire hoses of information all at one time, and they've made it through. So we're excited to welcome these graduates into the cybersecurity and information technology community and celebrate their accomplishments with everybody that's here on the call and anybody that's watching this on YouTube or any social medias after the fact. Again, welcome. And without further ado, I will hand this over to Forge Institute's Executive Director, Mr. Scott Anderson.
Thank you, Tony. Again, I want to emphasize this is about the graduates, the people that are completing this boot camp at Forge. It's no easy feat, and hats off to each and every one of you. Few slides that I want to flip through. I think everybody here probably knows what Forge does. It's kind of looking at where we focus on our operations, workforce, future workforce, and innovation. I think when you bring all those things together, you kind of, that's where we land with the motto of forever one step ahead. And that's with y'all. I'm so excited that you all have chosen us in regards to focusing on developing yourself as an IT professional. I really think that this is going to pay off in dividends down the road. Tony, a couple more slides, and I'm not going to spend any time on these. I think everybody knows our team. What I want to say on our team is that get to know us. I think you know a couple people on the team for sure. You've spent a lot of time with them over the last 10 weeks, but there are other individuals as well. So keep the communication open. I hope everybody's built relationships with each other as well. So I challenge everybody to kind of stay connected. Keep us informed of what's going on in your life. I'm assuming that there's going to be some alumni opportunities. If you don't get the Forge newsletter, go to our website, sign up for that so you can stay in tune of what's going on within Forge Institute. And I don't know if Tony's talked about this during the class, but technology is a lot, or life in general. I hate not just technology, but build relationships that are going to benefit you and benefit others. Right. My wife came in actually and did a coaching session for this class. And I was very thankful for her doing that. She definitely is a people person. She loves people. And I asked her when she was heading out with taking our son up to the football field, I said, hey, anything you want to pass on? And she said, just remind them that love prefers others. I know that's kind of soft, but when you have wins, when you've learned stuff through this course, share that with other people. Tell people about what you've learned or some of your challenges. We want to hear about that, but we want to serve Arkansans and we want to serve our country. I think there's a huge need from a national security standpoint to develop talented people that want to help protect not just themselves when it comes to technology, but they also want to protect their loved ones, their community, their state, and obviously our great nation. So my background's military. These are stats about Forge. I'm not going to dive into those. I'm sure some of y'all have seen them. So Tony, next slide. Again, this is about how we conduct our operations. We do innovation and community building and workforce development. Forge Academy is part of Forge, and y'all went through this IT Cyber Fundamentals Bootcamp that's part of the Academy. Again, there are plenty of other opportunities that are going to be opening up, not just with Forge, but within the community, within all of our partners around the state, both within industry and in the public sector. So I'm not going to dive into the details on all of this, but definitely areas where people can get involved. Again, I challenge you all to continue to learn, continue to look for areas where you can improve. I listened to a podcast the other day that talked about, how important it is for when you're sleeping to dream. It's just as important to dream during the day and set those goals, set those aspirations, and hey, where do you want to be? And who do you want to be with? So I challenge you all to continue to learn, get involved, not just help yourself, but help others as well. So I'm going to hand it back over to Tony. He's a fantastic instructor. I know there was a lot of people that were involved in the success of this program, and I want to thank everyone that was involved. Tony and Crystal, they did a fantastic job. They always do. I had no thoughts otherwise in regards to what they do. And then I've heard great things about all the capstones, the long evenings, the coaching sessions. The speed dating event that happened on Thursday was the first, and it was fantastic. And I think there's ways that you can always do things better. So again, thank you all. Tony, I'm handing it back to you.
Thank you, Scott. I switched to that slide way too early. My face was up there on the screen for way too long.
All good.
Again, thank you everybody for joining this morning, and for the guests that we have with us today. And for those guests and anyone that's listening in either live or after the fact, I just want to give a little glimpse of what this course entails and what our very soon to be graduates have gone through and experienced along the way. The Forge Institute's IT Cyber Fundamentals program is designed to give each and every one of these participants, and again, soon to be graduates, the knowledge, skills, and abilities that they need to enter the field, not just enter it, but enter it confidently and competently as well-trained and fully qualified IT and cybersecurity professionals. That's the goal, and that's why we do what we do. To get there, we take a scaffolded approach to training that covers the three main learning modalities. You have your auditory learners, visual learners, and the kinesthetic or hands-on learners. And we incorporate all three training modalities into this program. First, we teach the concepts, then we demonstrate the skills, and then finally, the participants do the hands-on portion to solidify all of those things that they have heard and seen. During this entire training program, the participants have learned networking concepts, protocols, and frameworks, how everything functions behind the scenes to allow communications to take place. They've had a lot of time in hands-on training environments, sometimes for the better, sometimes seemingly for the worse, but we get there along the way. We've spent time in Windows and Linux operating systems. We've experienced the growth through skills in command line administration, how to manage accounts on an individual and group basis, how to do things like Active Directory and domain configuration, and interacting with a lot of other server roles and functions in those virtual lab environments. The participants have also learned how to apply a method to madness when it comes to troubleshooting and what steps to take when things go wrong, which we know they always will eventually if you give it enough time. They learned concepts of product lifecycle management, as well as software and patch management procedures and best practices for that as well. Participants have learned about concepts such as secure information technology, architecture design, defense in-depth strategies, public key infrastructure, and legal and regulatory requirements that tie everything together. And by the way, that was all in 10 weeks of them sacrificing their nights, and their weekends, their own personal time, their free time to attend the training program, and they've persevered through it all. So give yourselves a round of applause in recognition of your hard work, and any guests we have that's listening in the background. Congratulations to all of these folks. They did a phenomenal job. And now
I'm not seeing enough like smiling faces. What's going on?
They're nervous. They're nervous because it's a big day.
Well, I mean, it's like the last day. It's exciting. You don't have to see us anymore on Tuesday, Thursday evenings, and Saturday mornings. Thought everyone would be like so excited.
For the graduates, I'm going to call you graduates. We're almost there. We're about 5 minutes away. These are some key statistics for you if you haven't done the math on this yet. There are 24 of you from 9 different counties across Arkansas, and if you haven't realized by now, we all come from very, very different backgrounds, unique individuals, and we've grown together to be a bit of a family along the way. There have been 29 days of instruction and lab training over the course of the past 10 weeks. That's a long time. 10 and a half, or not 10 and a half, 2.5 months is a very long time. It's 144 total hours of technical training, not to mention all of the soft skill and professional development that we've done along the way. 13 total assessments. For some of you, that's more like 70 assessments because we took them multiple times, and that's okay, but everybody did at least the 13. And more importantly, with that, our knowledge base as a class, as a group, increased by 61.46% across the board, across all of the modules that we covered. We also had the opportunity, like Scott had mentioned, and Crystal is going to talk about a little bit more in depth here in just a minute, to be participants in the speed interviewing event, the Recruit Cyber event that we hosted just 2 days ago. And also, we can't not mention it, an estimated 150,800 milligrams of caffeine were consumed along the way throughout the course of this training program. I know some of you don't drink a lot of caffeine. Crystal and I make up for it, so that is okay. At this point, I would like to recognize the distinguished graduates, and all of you have done a phenomenal job, but there are these individuals that are on the screen that have really set themselves apart with outstanding scores and performance on assessments, continuous engagement during class and out of class as well, demonstration of knowledge, skills, and the technical abilities required during this course. You have shown throughout the entire training program, and we expect absolutely nothing but the very, very best for you in the future. And on that note, 2 of our graduates have offered to share a few words with us this morning, Juanita Watts and Dr. Aaron Armour. So on that note, Miss Juanita, if you're ready, the floor is all yours.
I'm ready. Hi, I'm Juanita Watts, and I just want to share a little bit. The cybersecurity class through Forge Institute was a great experience. I've taken several online classes. The training courses offered through Forge was the best I've taken. Tony took his time to explain each session, while Crystal was always there to cheer us on and to remind us we belong here. Tony was exceptional throughout the course. He made sure we knew if we needed any one-on-one time, we could reach out even outside of class time. Tony and Crystal made the review a fun and learning experience. Imposter experience is real, and it would try to creep in. Once a week, a coaching session was set up, and during that time, we had the opportunity to learn from our coaches as well as hear some really good feedback. During the 10-week course, we did learn a lot, as Tony mentioned. Forge offered this class before during the day throughout the week. The first time that I had heard about it, I really appreciate the second class was at night. That way I could join and be able to do it. The nighttime class was Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then half a day on Saturday. And it was just great that it was offered to those of us that have obligations during the day. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who made this class possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Juanita. Aaron?
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Aaron Armour. It is an absolute honor to be selected as a speaker at this certificate ceremony. I now join the ranks of the Forge Institute community, and I tell you that my experience has been nothing short of just phenomenal. A few years ago, I teamed up with a cybersecurity expert, Dr. Avi from New York, And we wrote a chapter in the Refractive Thinker addressing enterprise-wide cybersecurity threats. That book went on to be an international bestseller. Now, fast forward 2 years later, I find myself in class at Forge Institute, adding IT and cybersecurity to my credentials. And I want to thank Tony and Crystal for being outstanding instructors. I mean, they made this course fun, and given the complex information that we had to learn, they made it relatively easy to learn. I've studied at a number of universities to include San Diego State, DeVry and Irving. I've earned a doctorate degree at Colorado Tech. I've even studied making government work in hard places and political existentialism at Princeton University. But my time and experience here at Forge will be among the best academic experiences that I've ever had. And again, I give a huge thanks to Tony, Crystal, and also to my classmates for being an instrumental drive for me. I mean, thank you.
Every time somebody says something that makes I need to have a box of tissues for graduation ceremonies. Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate the kind words. Up next, I don't know if we're going to be able to. Crystal, are you good for now?
I am. I just don't know if you can hear me okay.
We can hear you just fine.
Okay. And why do I always go after the testimonials? Like, why is that? I'm like, I don't even know how to follow up with it. So Juanita mentioned we did coaching sessions and we had one each week. I definitely think having imposter syndrome as that first one is probably the most important, just because that first week is so hard. Throughout that, we did build your cyber network, career pathways, people first leadership, cybersecurity and digital forensics, mastering your LinkedIn, crafting your resume a lot of times, and then also, kind of dominating your 30-second pitch also a lot of times, which everyone, I really think we need to go back and look at that first one. We'll have to do a little touch point at some point in a couple of weeks and look at our first 30-second and then the last one, because you guys have grown so much. It's just phenomenal and insane. So as you prepare for the journey ahead, you have your SMART resume, and that actually will increase your visibility throughout the state of Arkansas with some of the kind of larger and key employers and organizations. So I highly encourage that you continue to keep that up to date. You have the foundation to build on if you would like. We have a partnership with UA Little Rock and North Arc to provide college credits to kind of get you started. So I know that Scott's working on some additional partners there, but just reach out to Tony and I, and we can certainly help you move forward with that. And then we did our first ever recruit IT cyber speed interviewing. Those that were there, we have gotten so much good feedback already. I was like a proud mom, and I really loved yelling at everyone, every 3.5 minutes and finally using the whistle. But everybody did so good. And I can't believe the amount of employers that we had. Like Tony was, kind of filling in some empty spots. And I know that they were telling them, ooh, I really liked so-and-so. So I'm just really proud. I think that was for the first event, there are some things like logistically wise we can improve, but y'all nailed it. So congratulations, pat yourself on the back, and yeah, continue to go and reach out, and don't forget, follow up with little thank yous to those that you did meet, and don't be strangers.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah.
Now,
I am going to board my plane. So if I don't see anyone for the next few minutes, because I'm not going to get to hurrah, congratulations, everyone. I will schedule something in the next 2 weeks, so you're not off the hook just yet. But yeah, congrats.
It's okay because we record all of our sessions and we'll just upload it to the LMS so you can watch it later.
Perfect. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we are going to present the certificates, if that's okay. We're going to present them regardless. So here we go. We will be doing these in alphabetical order. So neither is necessarily taking precedent over the other, but I'm excited to get to read off this amazing list of names of the graduates that we have from this iteration of the IT and Cyber Fundamentals course. That was a lot of suspense there. Dr. Aaron Armour. Aaron Bidet. I don't hear any woohoos or any emojis or anything. Feel free to do that. That's okay. Brett Williams. Kaylin Robbins. Charles Geiger. Corey Parks. Devontae Jimerson. Douglas Robinson. Dustin Harris. Enrico Palasigi. Jakia Jeffries. Jimmy Goodwin. John Varney. Juanita Watts. Cody Harvey. Matthew Reeves. Nathan Balmer. Noah Brown. Rajan Delente. Ressie Reeves. Stephanie Ballou. And Stuart Miller. Everyone, congratulations on your hard work, on your dedication. I love seeing the smiling faces when your name is called and shows up on the screen. Amazing, amazing work, everybody. I am so proud of you and I love all of you. You've done a phenomenal job leading up to this point. And again, I want to thank all of the workforce partners, everybody that has done all of the grunt work behind the scenes to put on the program like this. Thank you, Scott, for all the work that you do for the rest of the Forge team. Thank you, communities. Thank you, families and friends that have helped out. I know a lot of the graduates have kids, have other things going on, and it takes a village to enable them to be able to devote the time to doing and attending and successfully completing this training program. That concludes this morning's certificate ceremony. I'll stick around for a little bit if anybody has any questions or anything for me. Otherwise, congratulations. We're done with class 2 hours and 21 minutes early. Enjoy your weekends and you will hear from us very, very, very soon.